Government officials visit the Rio Grande Valley to promote legal travel and trade. Recently, the Office of Passports partners up with the Mexican consulate to encourage frequent traveler programs with their passports. We met with a group as they visit Brownsville. Here's what they had to say.
We are here in the Brownsville region communicating with the local community, many of whom are border crossers, and we are encouraging U.S. passports. So we're simply here in the area encouraging people to document themselves with a U.S. passport book or U.S. passport card, especially if they're crossing the border into Mexico. But this also applies to those who don't cross into Mexico. A U.S. passport is a great way to establish your ID, to protect your ID, and passports can be used both for international and domestic travel. And we are encouraging people to either choose a passport book, which is the traditional passport book, or there's also a passport card, which is great for border crossing. It's not good for international air travel, but it is good for crossing the border either by land or sea. It's an economical option for folks. It's less expensive than the passport book. It has the same validity if you're a child or an adult. And again, it's just a great way. It's an ideal option for those who are crossing the border. We're working with CBP. We know from CBP that there are very long lines at the borders when re-entering the United States. We find that many people are still using birth certificates. So over 10 years ago, the Western Hemisphere Travel Initiative required that citizens use U.S. passports when re-entering the country. Over 10 years later, we still find that people are using birth certificates, paper birth documents to cross the border. They're much less secure than U.S. passports, and over the years they become tattered, torn, and so we really want to encourage those crossing daily, especially those using U.S. birth certificates, to please take the extra step and apply for a U.S. passport book or card.
So for adults and for minors, for a minor to get a passport card, it's $50, and then for an adult, it's $65 for the passport card.
How long does it usually take from the time you apply to when you actually receive it?
So right now, we're kind of still in a busy season. So our processing times for a regular application is 6 to 8 weeks. If you need it expedited, you can pay for an expedited fee of $60, and you can receive it within 2 to 3 weeks.
Another big push right here in the Valley, the 2020 census and counting individuals. The count extremely important for the region as it may determine how federal funds are spent and on what projects. It also determines the representation in Congress and in the state. Now the city of McAllen joining in for a special forum happening this Monday. Take a look.
Hello, I'm Xochitl Mora with the City of McAllen, and I'm joined by some very special guests here today to talk about the upcoming 2020 census. This is so important for the Rio Grande Valley, and I'm really pleased to have with me today Nedra Knurk, who is the president of Futuro RGV, who will be hosting a census forum next week, and of course our police chief, Victor Rodriguez, who is the chairman of the McAllen Complete Census Count Committee and who is spearheading all of the initiatives being led by the city of McAllen regarding the census. Welcome to you both. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
So we are here, Nedra. We are really excited. We have a forum coming up next week, and we'd like to talk about why this is so important and who is going to be a part of that.
Well, it's very important because our future and our children's future depends upon getting everybody counted. And our forum is with Futuro RGV, the Lower Rio Grande Development Council, and did you want to tell where it's going to be and all of that?
Absolutely. The city of McAllen is very proud to be part of this particular forum that's coming up next week. The city of McAllen in part is in part with Futuro RGV and the Lower Rio Grande Development Council are collaborating together to bring this forum together. We'll have some very high-profile speakers at that forum. The event's next Monday at 5 p.m. and 6 p.m. We've got
6 to 7.
Well, the public portion of it's at 6 p.m.
Yeah. Right? Okay, but you're right. We do start all of the displays and videos, etc. at 5:15.
Right. But the public forum itself starts at 6 p.m. and we are very excited because we will have a very high-ranking census official here. We'll have the bishop of the Catholic Diocese in South Texas there as well. And we couldn't have bigger proponents of what we're trying to do here. The census is once in a 10 years experience that we get a chance to do it, so it's important for us to get it done and to do it right this time around.
That is true. It is so important that we are making all of these efforts through the partnerships with all of the community organizations that are here in McAllen and the Rio Grande Valley. And we do have some extremely high-profile people who will be on this panel at the forum next Monday, November 18th. It will be held at the McAllen Convention Center. So, Nedra, tell us who will be on the panel and what we'll be discussing.
Well, we're very excited. We have Timothy Olson, who is the Associate Director for Field Operations for the U.S. Census in Washington, D.C. We're also going to have moderator Sergio Contreras, who is with Rio Grande Valley Partnership. We'll have Bishop Daniel Flores, as the chief mentioned. We will have Veronica Gonzalez, who is with UTRGV across the region. We will have Christine Hooley, who is with Equal Voice Network, and we're also going to have Rosa Mendoza from Washington, D.C., who is chief of Alvanza CEO that works with underserved and underprivileged communities. So we think that we're going to have a lot to hear and a lot to be said. And it is free and open to the public. We'll have public displays of how to do the census. 3 important points. 1, it's very important that you be counted. 2, it's easy, and we'll have a video showing how to do it. And 3, your answers are confidential and it's safe.